I had ordered the switch, and when I ordered it, I reached out to Killer RC after having, I mean, just a total nightmare with the previous kill switch I ordered. Again, this is my Rovan 305 FT 30.5 cc. You'll notice the entire pull start cover has been removed in order to gain access to the engine kill switch. I did upgrade to a Rovan outerwear, which from what I understand, the way it's designed, it's not meant to have the bolts go through, but I decided it was the only way it was going to work. I noticed some of the outerwear, which is the company that makes these two, and from what I understand makes a much better version of this. This probably won't last very long. It's really thin. It was only $9 for the set. I got this one here with the air filter cover as well. So again, for $9, I figured if it lasts me, you know, I don't know, dozen runs, then I got my money's worth. But the way it was designed, it's just an elastic that from what I understand, I guess would have just met up with this edge here, but that didn't seem like it was going to stay on. It does have a little hole here for the pull start, so you do have to take your pull start apart, which involves just kind of pulling it out a little bit, pushing the handle back down so that you can gain a little bit of rope on the outside, and then just untie it, which is a little bit of a pain in the ass. You need a set of needle nose. But then again, it holds it on there pretty well. But I think if you do what I did, you're going to find that it'll probably last longer, it'll stay on, and it'll probably work better. It doesn't interfere with any of the inner workings for the pull start. So, and I've already tested it, and I've had it running on the Facebook group that were telling me to buy one particular switch and one particular switch only, and that is the Super B, which is Killer RC's latest addition to their kill switch. The previous switch was called the Killer B. This one here is called the Super B. And I'll tell you a little bit why about that in a minute. If you haven't already watched all the videos on it, you'll find plenty of videos from all over YouTube from different people, and some from Team Fast Eddie. So good news is I finally removed the switch. I'm sending it back to Rovan RC. In the process of digging into this thing for the first time, this is the first time I've dug into it. I did discover, and this is one of the things I just kind of brushed over when I bought the truck, but I discovered that that's going to be a problem. 2000 MAH. The switch I'm returning, I'm simply going to ask him to replace the instead of refunding me, just to go ahead and give me a 4500 MAH battery, which he does have in stock for $29.99. So that's going to work out pretty good. From what I understand, this is going to be 45 minutes worth of runtime, which sucks, because if you get out there for the day, I mean, what are you going to do in 45 minutes? A couple tanks, not even a tank, and you're done. And not to mention, you don't have to rip this thing out of here, change it out, pull your battery box apart, just to switch out batteries, which I may end up doing, is keeping this as a backup. But I am going to put the 4500 in there for one other reason as well. When I ordered these for $9 off of Rovan RC, which is free shipping, by the way, great website, great company, just a crappy kill switch, unfortunately. I ordered the LEDs, which is they come in pairs. Killer RC made it clear to me that when I got their kill switch, which again is the latest version, comes with a buzzer. I ordered the additional LED light with it, which is a nice function. It's gonna have a hole. I'm gonna have a hole drilled through here with the light sticking up, so that I know what's going. So again, here's their kill switch. Already you can tell you're dealing with a better product. The two pieces of metal there, that little connector there, those two male connections, that's the positive and negative to hook up the LED light for the battery box mount. It comes with a little plastic piece housing that clicks into, so once the hole is drilled, the light is actually protected and locked in there. They do recommend shoe glue if you have any issues as far as underneath the battery box to hold it tight. I haven't got into the instructions yet, but so you have your connection for your receiver, which again is going to go into my third channel. you have your connection that runs to the wire that runs all the way back up through here to the engine kill switch, which with the Killer Bee setup, they give you the entire switch, brand new switch, connections all made. I don't know if you can notice, but there is a fusible link in the switch. You'll see. I don't know, can you notice it in there? Yeah, you can see it there. There's a fusible link right there in the switch. Or in the line, rather. So that line, what I did was I pulled the pins out of here, had to pull the air filter off. I lifted the tank up I had to remove the servo arm. I've already notched my battery box. You'll notice a notch here as well. That was for the previous kill switch. But now that I'm going to be running my lights, because Killer RC made it clear that if I bought a Y splitter off of them, I can plug the kill switch into this one, my lights into that one, this into the third channel. So, I mean, there's going to be a lot packed into my battery box. They do make a taller battery box top. I should have bought it, but I didn't. Again, I'm on a budget here, and I'm trying not to spend too much money right off the rip. I haven't even driven the thing, but twice. I used it once the day I broke it in, and the second time I took it out, that video that you see on YouTube was the only time I've driven it. In fact, at the end of that video, that's when I had the first scare with it. I think I ran it too long. I think the battery lost signal because it was weak in the receiver, and it took off on me. 40 miles an hour, dead into a tree. The only tree in the entire field it hit. And I mean, it hit it good. It sent this thing 15 feet into the air, spinning. As soon as it made impact, it ripped this rim right off of it. I was devastated. It was flipped over, running full speed. And by the time I got over to it, it was spinning the tire on the ground, on the pavement, because it flew off the grass onto the pavement, and it basically wore all the edges off of those, being that it was on an angle on the roof. So it was just burning rubber. There was a big pile of rubber. You know, I finally got it shut off, and I've made a vow not to run it since. So it's been sitting here for, I don't know, the whole month of January and late December. Yeah, it's been sitting here for, I mean, I ran it the week after Christmas, and I haven't ran it since, and it's January 29th today. So, yeah. Again, the lights are quick and easy to install. I think they were like 22 bucks. You pull the factory ones out with the cotter pins, put the cotter pins back in. I ran them all through here really nicely so that they'll be out of the way behind this bracket. Alright guys, I just wanted to show you how I run the lights, and I have decided that either I'll buy some black fuel line, split it down the center, thick enough to cover, and then just like zip tie in certain areas so that these wires are heavily, you know, covered. But what I did was I basically just bunched up the extra that I had here, threw some tape on it for now. You'll see, I don't know if you can notice that the light is in the way. You'll see the Y splitter, the dual connections right there underneath that bumper brace. So it comes down, and then you'll notice it runs right up through there. So just like that, runs right through that centerpiece there. And what I did was I decided to run it on the outside here, and I lifted up the battery tray. I was able to get it underneath here, run it along the side, and that piece that I had already notched with the Dremel for the previous kill switch, I'm going to use that entryway. And ultimately what will happen is the Y splitter that I ordered from Killer RC will, you know, again, the RC Killer Bee the Super Bee kill switch will plug into this one. My LEDs are already plugged in there, and this end will go into the receiver here. So this entire portion is going to get coiled up and put inside the battery box. Hopefully everything fits. So I just want to show you how I ran my lights temporarily. And again, I think just some plastic wire loom would look fine. You know, it's just a straight run, so it'll just cover the wire and give it some protection. Alright guys, the switch and lights, kill switch and the lights are done. Again, we drilled a 1/4 inch hole because with the Super B kill switch I ordered the additional LED light because I intended on mounting the actual kill switch itself, the electronics portion, which does, by the way, have an LED light on it, but that's getting mounted inside the receiver box, so I wanted something on the outside to let me know what's going on, and it appears to be working perfectly. I installed the side of the motor, put back together the this portion of the motor, Loctite to the screws. As you can see, I still have the air filter and air filter off, gas tank's not pinned in yet. And when I was trying to figure out where to run this cord, I decided to run it down the side, like I was saying in the previous segment. You'll notice when everything's said and done, there's a little gap here, and there's a gap in the top of the box as well. I may have to make it a little bit bigger, which is no problem, but that's where I intend on running everything through. The lights appear to stay on. I don't know that I'll have control over the on-off from the third channel, being that the kill switch is tied into it. So I guess what I'll do is just simply disconnect from here when I'm not, when I don't need the lights, because I don't want them running all the time. But I just want to give you a quick example. You've just seen it run real quick, and I'll show you with the how the lights work on it. So transmitter on, you'll see when the receiver comes on, we get 4 beeps and then a quick beep. Blue light remains on. My receiver light stays on, and you'll also notice there's a green light on the actual kill switch. So that tells me that it's ready to go and it's activated, and then the engine can be started. And like I said, the LEDs are staying on. So what I'll do is I have the kill switch set up to the third channel, and as soon as I hit this, it's going to stop. It's going to go ahead and shut down the engine if it were running, but you'll see what it does when it does shut it down. Now the light's flashing, it would have just shut the engine off. And now she's ready to go again. So the engine would have been shut down at that point. And you'll notice I have a green light again and a solid blue. So that tells me that I can restart the engine. And if I go ahead and turn the transmitter off, it goes into fail-safe mode, which is internal, and it also goes into shut down the engine mode. As soon as I turn the receiver back on, it recognizes it, gets a signal again, blue lights flashing, telling me I can't start it yet until now. I'll have a green light on the kill switch, solid blue here, and we're back in action. So I'm pretty pumped. Everything seems to have worked out. It's just a matter of getting the wires all tucked in that box real well, which isn't going to be easy, but I'll get it done. Third channel switch. Sorry about the noise, guys. Alright, Killer Bee kill switch is installed. Auto wires are fitted. You can see the top of that one. So it's pretty well hidden with the factory cover over it, and the factory plastic. Again, sorry about the neighborhood kids. You'll notice the wiring comes directly out of the side of my receiver box. The kill switch connects, runs along the front of the gas tank, and what I did was I ran it along the side of the gas tank, which was perfect. There was just enough space to get it right along the gas tank and right up underneath, and you'll notice that's where the inline fuse is, and runs up to the other side for the actual manual kill switch.